Good morning, precious. What? How you doing, baby? Happy Wednesday. And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, please go to the YouTube channel. I named it Coffee and Conversation with Shakenya. But I think I'm going to just put it back Shakenya. It was hard enough getting y'all just to go to Shakenya. So, yeah. But that's what it is. Coffee and Conversation. That's what we do. Here we are, right? So today, I know I was supposed to be at the little diner today. I couldn't work that out today. I tried to, but I got a meeting on the phone at 12:30. I'm going to probably be on there with y'all. If I did the diner thing, it just ain't working out. The math wasn't mathing, right? So I'm going on at 1 o'clock, do what I got to do, take care of my business at 12:30. I'm about to take care of my business with y'all right now in the basement in Cafe Kiki. Okay, that's what we at. And I ain't cooked no big breakfast this morning. I'm eating oatmeal. Yep. You get enough fiber in your diet? You get enough protein in your diet? Okay. Yeah, I love me some oatmeal, and oatmeal is good for the body. Yes, it is. So that's all I'm eating today, y'all. So nothing fancy swancy. So y'all, today, wait a minute. We are still raising our daughters, and this is part 12. I don't know how far. Shit. I don't know how far we gonna go with raising the daughters. I can't tell you that. We only did we did 5 segments for the boys, and then I think we did maybe 3 segments of following up with them to see where they are. And that's not to say that we slacked on them being on the boys. We didn't slack on them, but it is limited to what you can do as a mother. So if a man did raising sons, he probably would be at part 12 in his segments. You understand what I'm saying? Because him being a man, he would probably be able to get more in depth with some of the things and the tactics and the things that you can do to raise little boys to be men. By us being women, remember, we can't raise a boy to be a man. I know you're trying. I know you're doing the best you can. And I know he turned out okay. Yep. But he could have been great if he had a dad in his life or if he had male role models in his life. It's a difference. Yeah, you might not care. You might be okay with just he's a good man and he turned out okay. You might be good with that. But me, myself, with my young men, I wanted them to be great. I wanted them to be excellent. So I made sure they had male role models in their life to kind of help them. Because it's not going to be easy, but to help them through. Yep, so I'm being a woman, raising little girls, I can give you the insight, I can give you the skinny, I can go deep, I can go behind the curtain, I can let you know what it is, right? So that's where we at. We at part 12. So, going off your list, right? Teaching all the classes was on my list. Yep. Remember, because you're going to hear a lot of similarities from the boys to men segment, right? Because remember I told you I raised all my children the same. Yep. The same morals, the same values. It was just probably different to get maybe a lesson across to the boys. I probably had to do something different. I probably had to have a man do it, right? Versus getting a message across to the girls. So those classes is a must. And you got to keep in mind, young ladies mature much faster than little boys. And I don't know about your experience, but me raising 2 little girls compared to raising the 3 boys, the girls wanted to know more, right? I didn't have to force feed them information. They wanted to know. They asked questions. They was always around. They wanted to see, right? And I'm going to let you learn as much as you want to learn, right? As much as your little mind can handle. I'm going to keep cramming it in. Yep. Until you say you don't want to learn no more, I'm going to keep cramming it. You keep asking questions, I'm going to keep answering them. Right? So, yeah, they mature faster than boys. Yeah, my girls came along for the ride. I didn't have to force. I didn't have to force too much on the boys either, but they was boys. I ain't gonna lie. You know how it is raising boys now. But the girls, they were so easy going. It was like everything I said to them made sense. Like it wasn't hard to get certain stuff across to them. Like it was so good. I love my children. Oh my goodness. So well behaved. So, oh my goodness. So, yep, it wasn't hard. They did whatever I asked them to do. No matter what it was. Yep. They trusted me that much. Yep. I had solidified a place in their life, doing everything that I had done, raising them how I was raising them, to where they trusted me. So whatever I asked them to do, they did. Yeah. If I didn't have problems, it was times when we went to go pass out flyers for maybe an upcoming event or something like that. My children were responsible if they was passing out the flyers to answer the questions, right? You telling somebody you want them to come, you want them to pay their money, they're going to ask you, what is it? Where am I coming to? What am I buying? What? Wait a minute, guys. I'm sorry, guys. One of them hot flashes took over my life. Baby. One of them hot flashes took over my life, okay? So, yeah, and there will be a couple times maybe they don't feel up to talking. I wouldn't force them every time. That's one thing. Yep. If they in a mood, they don't feel up to doing it, I didn't force them. Yep, you don't want to do that. Now, it is times where I'm not going to let that happen all the time, where they can just say they don't want to tell nobody something or they don't want to do it or whatever, and I say, okay, just pass out the flyer or put the flyer on the car, and if anybody asks you questions, you can point to one of us and we'll answer, right? Because, no, the mission is for them to be outgoing. The mission is for them to be able to just not fearful, not shy. I can't have a shy child because, you know, by me building and using them as my team, they got to be just as outgoing as me. They got to talk just as much as I talk. They got, you know what I'm saying? So I'm raising them in my likeness. So yeah, it's not going to be too many times they can say they don't feel like something. And I'm not going to strongly encourage, right? But I didn't have a lot of those problems. It was like they was okay with doing it and going where we were going and doing what we were doing. They didn't really complain when we was at the campaign office. They didn't complain when we was out passing out flyers for the events. They didn't complain when we was at the events, right? They didn't complain when we was working. Had a couple times you can tell they didn't want to go clean no building after being at school all day. I get that. But when you inputting it, when you instilling in your child the fact that they have to work hard for something, right? This is the startup. This is us on the ground level of getting our cleaning company off the ground. Before long, we were going to have people working for us. This is what I told them. This is it. And it was coming. It was coming to life. It was coming to life. It was coming to life. Those last 2 years that baby was removed, I guarantee you, it would have came to life, right? It would have came to life. So yeah, but I would get. That's how I would get them to clean and be okay about it. Just understand that right now you're working now, right? But it's gonna be a time where you're not gonna have to do this no more. Yeah, it's gonna come a time to where you done paid your dues cleaning these buildings, and you're gonna have somebody else working for you doing this. Right, so we were getting there. I was building up to that, right? So, yeah, it wasn't gonna be too many times because I want them to be out front, fearful, go-getters, vocal, and confident, right? Don't nothing build up confidence when you standing there trying to answer questions for answer questions for a stranger, right? Trying to describe to a stranger or tell a stranger, yeah, builds up confidence and character, right? I would put my kids on the spot. And they would always meet the challenge. Yeah, always meet the challenge. Like putting the camera on them, don't tell them nothing. And I wouldn't do that often. You know what I'm saying? But I can do that to my children. You can see it now. couple videos ago, me and my daughter, I just out the blue, we had a birthday party, and I'm like, hey, she rise to the occasion, right? Everything, lights, camera, action all the time. I tell my kids, they always watching. Somebody always watching. So watch how you carry yourself, the things you say. Just act like the camera's on you all the time. Or you already famous. I would tell them, you already famous, so act like it, right? So, what is that? I can wait. I'm doing coffee and conversation. Yeah, that can wait. Yeah, they would always rise to the challenge no matter what it is. Like, I love being their mom. Yeah. I am so in love with my children. Yeah, I love being their mom. I love bragging about them. I love showing them off to people. Yeah. This is my son. This is my daughters. Yeah, showing them off. Carrying them around. Hey, showing them off, right? Yeah. They were great kids and great young adults. They never disappointed me. Yeah. They always wanted to do their best for me. Mm-hmm. For themselves, of course, but you know what I'm saying as a parent. They want to do their best for me. Yep. They did everything they could to make me proud of them. Always excelling, always doing the best. Yep. Yep. They would do anything to make me happy. All three of them. Even Jay. Jay, my little brother. But I raised him as my own. So, you know, he's one of my kids too. But biologically, I only had 3. Yeah. So, yeah, they did everything they could to make me proud of them. All the time. So those classes are so important to teach your daughters. And somebody was in my DM and they said, what classes? Like, I'm slow or whatever. What you talking about? What you mean classes? Classes is just a metaphor for the things that you teaching your baby. That's all. And I just broke it down in one of my segments as classes just to make sure that you're more detailed, make sure that you're covering all bases. That's all. But it's basically just the life skills and things you teach your kids. But by we using Coffee and Conversations as a school, we using Coffee and Conversation as an ongoing case for a parent removing a child and there was no abuse or neglect. And we're talking about the manipulation tips and the mind games and the psychological damage that it has and the adverse effect. We're talking about a whole lot, right? But those classes is just basically the things you teach your children. So the first class would be home ec. And that's so important for a little girl. A little girl got to know the importance of keeping her kitchen and her bathroom clean, right? But home ec is so important. Oh, my God. She got to know how to cook and clean. It's a must. It's a must that your little girl know how to cook and clean. Before she know about weave and nails and BBLs and social media and TikTok, she got to know how to cook and clean. Yep. Remember, you raising her to be a little lady. You raising her to be somebody's wife at one day. You raising her to be somebody's mother. You raising her to be somebody's big mom. Imagine you got a little girl that don't cook and clean. Growing up to be a little lady that don't cook and clean. Now she out on her own. House nasty, trifling. She eating out every day. Spending unnecessary money. Just, man, the list goes on and on just because she don't know how to cook and clean. God forbid somebody do love her for herself. You know, love her unconditionally and love her regardless of her being nasty and trifling, right? Now she's somebody's wife, not cooking and cleaning, right? Then when she had children, so now she got kids running around in this filth. Like, fix it, Jesus. Come on now. Come on. Quit playing. Make sure your little girl, take the time to teach your little girl how to wash dishes, Yeah. We already know how I'm rolling. At age 7, come on now. Age 7, they already cleaning up their room, organizing, folding their clothes, putting their stuff away in an orderly manner. Already separating clothes, I hope, at age 7. Yep. I hope they sorting clothes. I hope they folding clothes and putting them away at age 7. Yep. So I was running a sweatshop. No, I wasn't. I was just teaching my kids how to be responsible. That's all. Teaching them how to live without me. That's all. Teaching them how to be independent. That's all. That's all. Yeah. Because by 8, 9, they probably was in the kitchen with you. Yep. You probably teaching them about ingredients, how to cook, what to cook, yeah. So you gotta be in there every meal. Some meals you probably want to be in there by yourself, sipping on your wine, listening to your music. I don't know. What? What you do? Right? But most days you should be in there with you trying to learn what you do and how you do it. So she can do it at one time. Right? So that physical health class. And that's just basically teaching her how to take care of herself. Yep. Teaching her how to eat healthy, eat properly, teaching her about exercising, teaching her about keeping the weight off. We talked about that the other day when we talked about her image and talking about her. We got a little shallow with it. Talking about her outside beauty, right? Yeah. My daughters are supposed to be able to say the same thing I say to you. I'm 52 and I'm almost the same size I was in high school. Yeah. And I worked hard to be that way. Yeah. And I'm going to continue working to stay that way, right? But you got to teach that to your daughters. They got to see that. So my daughters saw me exercise. They know the importance of eating healthy. They know what to eat and what not to eat, right? So you are in control of that when they are children. Their portions, not letting them just eat everything, not letting them just be greedy. And you see them gaining weight, you better put them outside and make them go play. Yeah. So making sure they're involved in physical activities, playing. My daughters were athletic. Yeah, they played volleyball, basketball, golf, cheerleading. So they was doing stuff. Yeah. That mental health class is important. Yeah. Letting your children know early what mental health is, right? Teaching them to identify with their emotions early. Teaching them about some of the things that they might be going through while they're going through it. Yeah. Helping them deal with problems. Yeah, helping them deal with problems. Communication is very important. So talking to your children every day. It was a must that I talked to my girls every day when they got in the car to find out how their day was. Is there anything that I need to help them through? Anything that they would need to discuss to help you get through your day, right? Help me put you back how you were when I dropped you off, because they was typically happy when I dropped them off. Yep, I get them all geeked up and hey, let's go, let's do this. Woo, woo, right? Let's go school, right? So yeah, get them hyped up. So I had to get them back hyped up because we don't want to take none of that to the house. Yeah, anything you struggling with and dealing with right now, let's take care of it right now, because when we go back into the house, this is our happy place. This is where the peace is, right? So we don't want to bring none of this drama that you dealt with that little girl at your locker. Let's deal with that right now. Figure out what we're going to do tomorrow when you see her, because when you go in the house, that's it, right? So mental health. Let them know it's okay to get help if they need. That life class is very important. Yep. That's when you're teaching your children about some of the things that you probably wasn't taught as a child. Yep. You're teaching them money management. You're teaching them about credit. You're teaching them about entrepreneurship. You're teaching them about home ownership. You're teaching them about paying bills, saving money. Yep. That ethics class needs to be taught to your daughters. Yeah, that's very important. Yeah. That's that class we taught where you teaching your daughters how to do what's right when nobody's looking. Yep. You're teaching your daughters to treat people how they want to be treated. Yeah. You're teaching them about being fair. You're teaching them about being honest. Teaching them about not lying. Right? That religion class. Yeah, and that's just basically being involved with some religion, even if it's not the one that you was involved with as a child or whatever. You got to work with somebody. Yeah, God has to be in your home. Yeah, God has to be in your child and you. So you have to teach your children about having a relationship with God. You have to teach your children about trusting in Him. You have to teach your children this. Taking them to church is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? That helps a lot. You get them in church, right? Teaching them how to pray. Yep. It might be before they go to bed. It might be praying before they eat their food. Whatever it is that you got to teach them how to say thank you. Thank the Lord when they get up in the morning for blessing them with another day. Like, you have to teach them that. You have to teach them the importance of having a relationship with God. Yep, so religion, hopefully you're teaching that class. Hopefully you're teaching your history class. And that's basically talking to your babies about you. who you are, who you were as a person, where you grew up at, your family history, sharing stories about your family, right? Yeah. Your childhood. Yeah, let them know where they come from. That Black history class was important to teach. And I hope you taught that. Because this new administration, I'm not going to take this to a political term, but you already see what they're doing. They're trying to erase us as people. Why and how, I don't know, because we built this nation, right? And I'm not going to take you there. But I'm glad you taught your children about Black history on your own. You just didn't rely on the school system to teach them. That's very important. Yeah. That means you had constant conversations in your household about slavery. Yeah. You've talked to your children about all the Black inventors. Yeah. That means that you talk to your children about maybe civil rights movement, boycott, right? The things that we had to go through just to have the privilege to vote, right? How we're being treated now after all this time, right? How they still hate us, right? But that should have been in that Black history class that you taught your children. Yeah. Because you also got to teach them to be proud of where they come from and who they are as Black people, children of color, right? So even though the administration now is trying to erase everything from the books about our past, they just took Martin Luther King's bust out of the White House, if I'm not mistaken. Do your research. I might be wrong, but that was the talk of the time, right? Yeah, there's a lot going on that they are doing and have done to try to erase us so that children won't know and people won't know what we've been through. But because you taught them that class on your own, it shouldn't even matter. Because they should know. Yeah. So that was very important to teach. And I think that's it, guys, for today. I think that's enough. So Raising Our Daughters, Part 12. Today we talked about the importance of the religion class. All the classes. I ain't going to say just the religion class, but that's what I'm looking at. But all the classes. Yeah, I got to get ready and go to that cigar bar. I'm so glad he changed it to 1 o'clock. You don't even understand. At first, when I first got this contract 2 years ago, I had to be there on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Now, you know I clean my contracts at night. I don't have no contracts with nobody in it but this one, and I don't have to clean during the day. But Wednesday, yes, it was at 9 o'clock. So we switched it to 1 just for a trial period to see how it does. And I said for the last 9, 10, maybe a year. It's been probably about a year. No, about 9 months. About 8 or 9 months. I've been coming in at 1. He been having me be there at 1. And it's been working out, baby. Hey, Angeline Rucker. How you doing, beautiful? Good morning to you. So that's it, y'all. I hope y'all enjoy y'all Wednesday. It's hump day. Yep. And I'm out, guys. I know I'm sweating. I'm hot, baby. Who else going through menopause? Yep, I just went for one of my doctor's appointments the other day. I'm about to see if they can give me something to help with the hot flashes. Yeah, because they be coming and taking over. For the most part, I was alive. I'm making it work, making it do what it do. And moms, are you talking to your daughters about menopause? Yep, that's another segment. Okay, guys, I'm out. We'll talk about that as they get older.